Hey guys, I'm Merce. I'm 17 and I'm from England. I joined Roblox in 2016. I would only use Roblox to play games as I didn't know much about the creative side of Roblox. Eventually, I learned more about it and I started making Roblox graphics. I enjoyed making them as there was a lot I could do with my creativity. Making graphics is why I was able to move forward as a 3D modeler. When I began making Roblox graphics, I would grab models from the toolbox in Roblox Studio so I could add them to my 3D scenes, but I wouldn't always find what I was looking for. So that's how I got the idea of creating my own models. I learned how to get started with YouTube tutorials and I quickly got the hang of it. A friend of mine told me about the UGC program, which was fairly new at the time. They encouraged me to give it a try. I was interested, so I looked more into it and soon went on to create my first UGC concepts. I started making videos on TikTok last year. Every now and then I would share my UGC work on there and it's always so pleasing to see the kind comments people leave behind. I've been able to build a fan base and it's crazy seeing the amount of support I get without having to be in the program. I hope to bring more items to the Black community on Roblox so we can represent ourselves in different ways. It was quite hard to find items such as hairstyles for the Black community before UGC. However, I'm glad to see creators like Learn, Vincent, Miracle Drops, and Glamdoll Juju trying to do more and make a change.
Hello everyone, it's really nice to be here, and I'm gonna get started with the questions right now. So why did I choose modeling on Roblox? Well, I started out making 3D animations on YouTube using Blender and an editing software, and when I realized that I could combine my main two interests online, which was Roblox and 3D modeling, I knew that it was the perfect mix. I knew that UGC was a thing and I'd seen all of these amazing items on the catalog and also some concepts on Twitter. So for me, 3D modeling plus Roblox equaled making UGC, which was the right choice, I think. And number two, I think the best part about UGC is actually the community surrounding it. I know that I'm not only speaking for myself when I say that UGC has brought me many friends and joy throughout these months that I've been active. Everyone is so supportive and genuinely wants you to succeed and improve. And what also makes UGC so special is the impact it has on the Roblox community. I myself remember as a kid when I would play Roblox and save up my Robux to buy these awesome items from the catalog and just how much I enjoy them. To me, it's just crazy to think there are people, on the other side of the world using my UGC items and, using them to express themselves. And well, I just sincerely hope that my items will bring good memories and joy to players out there. So question 3, what I mostly wish for is probably to kind of become my own boss in a sense. Up to this point, I've mostly been doing odd commissions to get stuff published and, show my work. I've been working with like star creators and other people like that. So, being an actual UGC creator would just bring so much freedom, which would really open up your creativity and, up the quality of your items, which I think is just so cool. And moving on to some more fun questions, if I could only make one more UGC item, I think that would be something that would remind me of the old Roblox that I used to play when I was younger. Something that would take people back, to the old times of Roblox, basically. It's really hard to decide something here, but yeah, something in that aspect, I think. So what's the best and worst thing about my modeling skills? Well, the best I would say is probably my ability to create clean meshes. And what I mean by that is just optimizing them and just making symmetrical models with, not a bunch of useless stuff that you won't see in game anyways. And the worst thing about my modeling skills is probably that I take the long route when creating models in some cases. Let's just say I know a bunch of useful features in Blender, but I'm sure there's a better way of doing stuff with, fancy key commands and tools like that. But hey, it always gets the job done in a timely fashion, so I don't complain. So the last question, how do I wish to encourage the upcoming generations? Well, what I would say is just that UGC and the UGC program is obviously a very hard program to get into. But what I would say is just go for it. Don't let the UGC program stand in the way of you getting stuff published. There's always ways of getting your work out there, and don't let yourself be discouraged if you don't get that many likes on Twitter. The most important thing is that you remain creative and determined. It's going to be a long journey filled with challenges along the way. Just keep on going and rewards will definitely present themselves along the way. You'll get to meet many amazing people and be inspired to create some awesome stuff. And with all that said, I sincerely appreciate that I've had this opportunity to present to all of you. And thank you all for listening. I think that's all. Thanks.
There was a time when I and my friend Frosty Cherries were slightly debating on which software was the best to use when creating assets, Roblox Studio or Blender. I used Roblox Studio to create assets for my games because I was more comfortable with it. I wasn't that open to trying out Blender since I remember that there were multiple buttons in the user interface that I had to deal with learning, and I already felt lazy despite not yet having to try it. Then the time came when I finally tried Blender because I wanted to create a squiggly or curving mesh, but I couldn't easily make it on Roblox Studio since it doesn't have a lot of building features like Blender. But I understood why. During the process of learning Blender, my friend Frosty Cherries then also introduced me to UGC. UGC is special to me because you can create almost anything you want to wear on Roblox without having to whine about it not existing on the catalog. But I get that there are limitations as to what you can make and upload due to the UGC limits. If I ever get accepted in this wave of the applications, I would mostly want to see other players wear accessories that I make and enjoy them. Because just simply seeing other people wear or use something you created is like a non-verbal appreciation of the item and the creator. If I had one more UGC item to make, I would mostly want to upload an original item whether it sells well or not. It doesn't matter as long as you can proudly say that it is your own and originally designed item. Starting with the worst, I mostly hate it when I work on something and my head starts to blind me into not seeing the flaws in my model. It frustrates me afterward because I hate working on items I already finished making. I also hate it when I run out of ideas to make. Despite all the struggles, at least I learned something out of what I made, and I developed a new skill which is 3D modeling. I mostly wish to encourage other generations to try out something new, because maybe that's where you are destined to be, even though if you don't feel like doing it, trying won't hurt. Well, maybe sometimes it will, but only the slightest.
Hi, I'm Clockset, and I'll be discussing my UGC journey and going over some helpful tips about the program. Ever since I joined Roblox quite a few years back, I was always fascinated with the various assortments of hats and clothing in general. I remember always making a list of what I dreamed to achieve, and I was always in awe when I saw the creativity that the modelers at Roblox demonstrated. It inspired me to try modeling myself and helped me reach where I am today. The UGC program means so much to me, as it's a place to show the greatest work I can produce and give out a platform for others to see and learn from. With the program, I plan on bringing new styles of items to the store as well as trying to gain feedback from the thousands of players who may view my items. Not only that, but I would also be able to efficiently fund games that I am developing with my peers for multiple years now. Now, if I had to make one more item for the UGC program, I definitely want to make a 1400s Eastern European crown with a sort of clock or time theme mixed into it. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but I really enjoy historical items, and I think some early history hats combined with creative twists would bring great potential to the store. On the topic of my modeling skills, I almost always manage to make a model with clean topology and seams in a short amount of time. However, my weakness is probably that I am sometimes a perfectionist when it comes to texturing. When working with colors, especially yellow, I may spend a few hours trying to perfectly choose the right shades so the item feels stylized and clean all throughout. My piece of advice for new and aspiring modelers is to form your own unique style and remember every creative idea that you have. Anyone can make a black top hat or a red fedora, but what makes a modeler stand out from others in the program is their creativity and uniqueness among others. Thank you for listening.
Hey everyone, it's Kirby. At KirbyRBX is my Twitter handle. The reason I chose modeling on Roblox was originally because I wanted to make very fun games so people could enjoy on the Roblox page. That was the first reason I ever decided to start modeling. I chose to switch on to UGC because I saw how special it was for other people to be able to buy your items that you made and wear it as an accessory for their character. And it became special for me because I noticed how much people of color lacked in the UGC program. And me being a person of color, it made it special for me to strive to become a UGC creator even more, and to strive to become one of the top modelers in the UGC program, or if I ever made it. And what I wanted to get from this program was recognition that it doesn't matter where you come from, you could make it. I want to be the voice or the spokesperson to say that it doesn't matter what happens or where you come from, you could do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And if I only had one more UGC item to create, it would be something that represents me as a person, represents what I fought for, and it would represent what I want the UGC program to become. What's the best and worst thing about my modeling skills? It would be I'm not really good at sculpting. I would say that's the worst thing about my modeling skills. And I would like to encourage the upcoming generation of UGC creators to, just keep on going. Keep fighting for what you want to become. It's possible. Just don't quit. Never quit.